I don't criticize Americans for saying aluminum instead of aluminium. I don't criticize British people for saying nana instead of nana. And I don't criticize British people for saying the floor when they mean the ground, because the floor is for the interior, the ground is the exterior, but they say floor when they mean ground. But there you go. Hello there. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega with another pretty interesting topic for you. You might think this is interesting, but I tell you it is. You know, I'm from Ireland. That's the Republic of Ireland. A lot of people are confused on my other channel, the Big Picture Al Panorama, thinking that Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, which obviously the more educated of you will know that it's not. But here's the deal. I get criticised so often on that channel, on comments on my shorts, that I can't speak English properly. Imagine, I was born and reared speaking Hiberno English. Hibernia is the Latin name for Ireland, and Hiberno English is the English we speak in Ireland, which is fairly well influenced by the Gaelic language. And you may have heard me say, "Good girl," when I speak to the girls. "Ah, good girl, well done." A lot of guys think that's derogatory. It's because it's the way you'd probably speak to a junior or something like that. But or a dog, even if the dog's a bitch. You say, "Ah, good girl." Yeah. Well, in Ireland we say that as well. But you see, good girl comes directly from verbatim the Gaelic an Colleen Wa, meaning good girl, and it's a term of affection in Hiberno English. You see, you might think, well, why am I getting so upset about this? Because I get it all the time. I get it left, right and centre. And it's not just on YouTube. I get it from the Thais. And I'll explain to you. Imagine being criticised. Imagine if I criticised the Thai for not speaking Thai properly. Well, Thais actually criticise me for not speaking English properly. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine it? I'll tell you, I'll share another few bits and pieces with you. You look so well. You look so well. I say that to the girls all the time, and all the time I get criticised because the people who, and I won't mention what countries they're from, but they're from English-speaking countries, they think that I cannot, or why, well, it's not I cannot, they question as to why I would comment on the girl's health, like you look so well. It's nothing to do with that. Look so well, you're looking well in Hiberno English is a standard greeting. You look so well. How are you doing? You're looking well today. That means you're looking good. I'm explaining this because it is a frustration, and I use YouTube to vent my frustrations. And it's not just the preserve of fellow English speakers telling me, that I can't speak English properly. Thais do it as well. I'll give you an example of this. You've probably watched my son or listened to my son Harry, on a few videos, and when I'm from in Dublin, to say "for fuck's sake," there's nothing wrong with it. And probably there's mosquitoes everywhere now. Probably where you're from, it doesn't mean, it's not necessarily an expletive. For fuck's sake, it's a term of frustration. Well, you see, I've been criticised indirectly by the parents in the place that I live, reporting to my wife that her husband, meaning me, is speaking or is uttering vulgarities, and that he shouldn't do it. You see, they're Thai. I'm speaking English. I don't tell them how to speak their language. But by the way, that's not the first time. It happens all the time. I can understand that because English isn't their first language and they hear the word F-U-C-K, and I have to be careful, I can't say that too many times on YouTube, but because they hear it, they think it's a profanity. But it's not a profanity all the time. It depends on your tone, it depends on the situation, as you well know. But I get tired, and I said this to someone recently. I said it to my wife, actually. She says, "You can't be encouraging Harry to say 'for fuck's sake.'" And I said, "Why not? Do I tell you how to speak Thai to him?" because that term is a regular term where I'm from. It's a term of frustration. It's a term of acknowledgement. It's an explanation. Exclamation of wonder, of joy, of happiness. Oh, for fuck's sake, how you doing? I just get so fed up being told by fellow English speakers that I cannot say you look so well, or I should not say you look so well, and I shouldn't speak down to people by saying good girl. Well, in fact, I do speak like that because I'm from Ireland, Hiberno English, and if you want to know, if you speak Hiberno English, you're in very good company. Oscar Wilde, Jonathan Swift, W.B. Yeats, to name a few, all wrote. Ulysses was written in Hiberno English. So there you go. And if you think I'm kind of, I've got me, I'm getting a bit shirty about this, I'm not really, this is part of the theatrics of YouTube. There's no point in me giving you this in a kind of somber monotone, because that would be no fun. But I can tell you, it is no fun for me to get constantly criticised as to how to speak English. Once upon a time, when I was in a previous life, when I was a teacher here in Thailand many years ago, I was brought to the office by the principal, and I was teaching kindergarten amongst others, and she asked me, what's a duck? She actually said it like that. And I said, a duck is a duck. And she said, what's a duck? I said, a duck, quack, quack. And she said, you mean a duck? I said, no, I don't mean a duck. I mean a duck. I'm from Dublin, and that's the way we say it. We broaden the vowels because in Gaelic the vowels are broad. I don't know how many of you are still watching me or listening to me, but this is genuine. I don't criticise Americans for saying aluminum instead of aluminium. I don't criticise British people for saying nana instead of nana. And I don't criticise British people for saying the floor when they mean the ground, because the floor is for the interior, the ground is the exterior, but they say floor when they mean ground. But there you go. I'm losing light rapidly. So I hope you've enjoyed this rant on getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. And if you have an opinion on this video, or if you have experienced the same thing, being told that whatever English you speak isn't correct English, let me know in the comment section, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me. Hello there.